Hi, everybody. It's Dr. Sarah, and we are approaching the spring season in the northern eastern hemisphere. And every year around this time, I notice a familiar pattern with my clients in my practice. Many of them describe that they're feeling a little bit weighted down from the winter. They say they feel heavier, slower, they feel more inflamed, more reactive. There's more bloating, digestive issues, energy dips. Their skin maybe is overreacting, their sleep quality's gotten impacted, and they tend to have an increase in cravings. So, what they tend to do is ask me for a spring detox or a yearly cleanse. And I feel that this is an important process to support, but we want to do something that works with the body, not against it. And the challenge is that many of the detoxes out there are very extreme. They promote things such as juice only, really restrictive fasting, using very low calorie protein shakes, or they're just aggressive binders and things that are really activating the body's detoxification pathways in a very abrupt way that is, like I said, manipulating the body, not gently working with it. And then there's also on the other aspect, trends from influencers who are using maybe some powders and we just don't know the science behind them or what's actually in them and if they've been validated. So, as a naturopathic and functional medicine doctor, I wanted to share with you a different perspective in cleansing. It's working with the body's ability to already effectively eliminate what it's been up against. And I believe that the role for detoxification and cleansing is not to force the body to do something, but to support its natural processes that may have gotten clogged up from the winter season. We want to also, as we're doing specific cleansing and gentle detoxing, just be mindful of the fact that there's other exposures that we're up for in our everyday life. So it makes not great sense if we're going to be doing all of this work to cleanse and detoxify, yet we're still not filtering our water or our air and maybe not making choices with food that has less chemicals in them if we have the economic ability to do so. So, I want to talk to you today about this approach to cleansing that is very supportive of the body, that goes with the natural rhythm of the season, but it doesn't subject us to body shaming, focus excessively on body size or orthorexic tendencies where we're too food focused and food fixated. We don't want to go with harsh regimes. We want to nourish and nurture our bodies through this process of releasing what no longer serves it. So, why is there such a rush of detox and cleanses in the spring? So, let's talk more about cleansing, what it is, what it isn't, why spring is the ultimate time to detoxify, why we need to focus on digestion, how to support our detoxification symptoms in a gentle way using digestive aids and essential oils, and then just round it up as a little bit of summary of how we can view detoxification in this more holistic way. So, first of all, there's a wisdom to cleansing in the spring, and it isn't just a trend to promote detoxification powders. It actually has its roots in ancient tradition. Actually, in traditional Chinese medicine, spring is governed by the wood element, which is the liver. And that's the organ that in Chinese medicine is responsible for the smooth flow of qi or energy, blood, and emotions. And traditional Chinese medicine views winter as a season of storage where there's heavier foods and less movement. So spring, on the other hand, represents upward movement, renewal, and growth. So in the springtime, you support the liver with things such as bitter green sprouts, lemon, and increased physical activity to help move that stagnation through and restore flow with these astringent properties of the foods, as well as increasing physical activity. Now, in Ayurveda, another ancient medical practice, spring is seen as kapha season. And this is a time when there's heaviness and dampness and congestion that has accumulated from winter habits. They usually also use lighter foods, digestive stimulation, and gentle cleansing practices to counterbalance this buildup that's happened over the winter. Now, if we bring it into modern times and look at a biological perspective, we know that seasonal changes in daylight influence our circadian rhythms, our hormone patterns, our immune function, and even the gut microbiome. There's been studies about that. And spring has marked a shift from preserved winter foods to fresh phytonutrient-rich plants that are more available that help support our detoxification pathway and bioflow. So these traditional systems and our biology today emphasize aligning with nature's transitions. This is things such as lightening the diet up, increasing movement, supporting elimination, and encouraging emotional release from the heaviness of the winter. So spring detox is less about deprivation and more about restoring flow. We want to think about it as physiologically energizing and helping our body rejuvenate from the winter stagnation. So just as nature renews itself in the spring, we're part of nature, and we can do that as well. So if we look at what detox is and what it isn't, we want to think about detoxification not as an extreme measure of deprivation, which is forcing the liver to get rid of toxins, but more supporting the body's elimination processes and protecting it against cellular stress that can happen if we detoxify and we're releasing all these mediators and chemicals out of our system. So when I think of detox, I think of different areas not just the liver. We want to help the liver go through their different phases. There's phase 1 and phase 2 of detoxification, of course. We also want to support bioflow and helping the removal of toxins from the bile. We want to think about gut health and motility, right? So getting those toxins out of the colon, thinking about microbiome support, which is the hub of our immune response, our digestion, and also our detoxification of hormones and other processes. We think about kidney filtration, right? Urine is another process that removes waste from the body. Lymphatic drainage, right? We want to do things such as movement, essential oils that help our lymph move and get rid of the toxins in between our cells. And then we want to support our body with these antioxidants that protect the cells from the cellular stress of releasing all these additional toxic buildups. So when any of these areas are sluggish, there can be a buildup. So we want to support them all. And sometimes people can get overzealous and they'll come in and they'll I want to go on all these liver herb cleanses and do all this and that. But the problem is we want detox to be stabilizing. We don't want it to be depleting. We don't want people to experience detox symptoms of shakiness, exhaustion, irritability, headaches, inflammation. That's a sign that detox is getting backed up and we're going too aggressive. We want to make sure that the drains are unclogged and that we're moving things through the body in a natural, energetic way. So this leads us to the importance of, before we do anything with the liver, we want to focus on our digestion, right? Because we want the toxins to have a place to go to get released. So if we think about it, if bile isn't flowing, toxins are going to recirculate. If the microbiome is imbalanced, toxins are modified improperly and there's more inflammation. If gut motility is slow, we can't get the toxins out. If stomach acid is low, right, we're not supporting proper assimilation of nutrients. We don't have the nutrients to support detoxification and to do all the things it needs to do in the liver to support those phases of detoxification. So oftentimes I start with digestive tract, and even just doing that alone, people report improvements in skin health, hormone balance, mood, and energy, just getting things flowing through the gut. And this can have a positive ripple effect. And there's certain things that I think of specifically when I think of digestive support and also detoxification support. I think of plant compounds, and of course, I think about essential oils. So one of the most overlooked tools, I think, are bitters and aromatics, because these bitters and aromatic herbs, such as I like fennel, ginger, cardamom, peppermint's one of my all-time favorites, lemon, coriander. These have astringent properties. They help also with digestive flow. They help the body naturally produce enzymes. They also, when we taste what we call bitters in our mouth, it actually stimulates these digestive secretions, helping us with digestion, and the vagus nerve, which helps us to get into this rest and digestive process of our nervous system. So I think it's one of the most important areas to start with because we're starting right at the level of stimulating those secretions and the level of the mouth where digestion starts into smell, right? Because smell and taste are connected, and then into our digestive tract. So once we go to our digestive tract, another areas I think is often overlooked are digestive enzymes. We're stressed out in our society. It's very rare that we're sitting down and totally relaxed when we're eating. What ends up happening is that our food is not properly digested and absorbed, and we're not getting all that we could out of our meals and our nutrients in our food. So when I think about digestive enzymes, they help our bodies break down various components of the food, such as proteins, fats, carbohydrates, and fibers. And if the digestive enzymes are insufficient, a lot of things like bloating, gas, skin issues, undigested food in the stools, feeling tired after meals, all of these can manifest because the body doesn't have what it needs to break down those nutrients, and it needs digestive enzymes. So I'll often suggest to my clients to supplement with these digestive enzymes at meals. And I think it's important definitely in the spring when there's been a lot of stagnation and congestion in the digestive tract. We also want to remember that as we get older, as there's more issues in our body and imbalances in our gut microbiome and chronic inflammation, that decreases our body's capacity to make digestive enzymes. So I myself personally take digestive enzymes every day, and I think it's just a good idea in general. Now, as far as essential oils, they are great as a holistic approach to help with detoxification because they can directly impact detoxification as well as influencing digestive, bile flow, microbial balance, and even nervous system tone and mood. So remember, they have all these biochemical properties that help with modulating inflammation, balancing hormones and neurotransmitters, assisting with inflammation, assisting with digestion and elimination. They act as antioxidants. They can support detoxification and elimination directly. There's even some studies that show that they can help with liver enzymes, helping that detoxification. And they also, again, assist with emotional balance, purging negative emotions, and they can serve as safe cleaning substitutes and wellness enhancers. So we're not increasing toxins in our home. We're using essential oils, which is boosting our immune system to clean and for our personal care products. When we think of essential oils too, and I talked about the microbiome being important for detoxification and digestion, some people will say, well, they're antibacterial, so they're probably going to impact our gut microbiome in a negative way. And that's just not true. That's not looking at the nuance of the intelligence of the vital force of plants. They actually are selective microbe inhibitors from the research that I've done in some small human trials, as well as in a lot of animal trials. They show that essential oils actually can support the gut lining and selectively inhibit pathogens while they enhance commensal or positive microbes in the gut. I did a whole podcast on this, and I also did a whole article for Townsend Letter, which summarizes the research that we have so far. And there will be links in the video description and in the accompanying article to those different resources for you, and all of the resources and background information from this video that you can access. I'll also post some links to some of my favorite products that I use with my clients and some essential oils directly related to the spring renewal that are gentle, that can support you, that aren't harsh. So you have different options that are more evidence-based to work with the body rather than to promote some sort of trend in detoxification, right? So that is what I wanted to share with you today. I just hope that you can see that when we're talking about spring cleansing or detoxification, it's not about forcing the body. It's about aligning with nature's rhythm and restoring the physiological, emotional, and energetic balance that might have been depleted a bit by the harshness of winter. So if you like what you've heard, please subscribe to my channel. You can support this channel by leaving a review are also subscribing. And also, if you click on the links and purchase any products, that directly goes to supporting these videos and articles that you get for free on my website. So I very much appreciate that. And I wish you all a very beautiful and renewing spring.